Hunt 'em Big with Steve Bartylla. Brought to you by Wildlife Research Center, the gold standard. RECONYX, see what you've been missing. Get armed and deadly with Easton's FMJ arrows. The heater bodysuit, you stay warm or your money back. And Hunter's Safety System, saving lives is what we do.
There's really nothing more important than tree stand safety for hunters. I know it's not a glamorous topic. I know that it's not something we get overly excited about, but really when you think about it, what's more important? You know, our loved ones are depending on us coming home safely. Okay? And what we do is, frankly, it's a little bit on the dangerous side. So it only makes sense to take precautions. We're going to be talking today about how to hang a tree stand safely. It's a show that I do every single year for one simple reason. You are worth it. Okay. It all begins by selecting the right tree. You need it to be large enough to support your stand. At the same time, it needs to be fully alive. There is a reason that loggers call dead trees widowmakers and large dead branches. We do not want that to happen. So, a live tree, large enough to support the stand. Next, it has to either be perfectly straight or angled in a way that you are leaning just ever so slightly forward when climbing that tree and leaning ever so slightly backwards. You don't want any lean, but if you are going to have some, that is the orientation you want. That's safer. So we're down on the ground, we're wearing our hunter safety vest, we're wearing our lineman's belt. Okay. Now I'm talking about putting up stands 100% by ourselves. We shouldn't. We should bring somebody with us, but you know what? We don't always do what we should. So if you're in that situation, you're putting it up by yourself, I personally only use continuous ladder sections. Ladder sticks that you attach to the tree that are one piece so that I can go ahead and climb the entire way up without ever having to worry about this thing dislodging, or if it's an individual piece, grabbing the bottom and having it come out a little bit. Not that that isn't safe, but it can startle you. It can startle you and you can fall. So I'll grab the climbing sticks. I'll put up the bottom piece first, attach it very loosely to the tree. Okay. Then you take the top section, put it in the middle section. If you're using a 4-piece, take that, raise it up, and put in the lower middle section. Then using the tree for a brace, shimmy that stick up the tree, slide it in. Now we can go ahead and tighten that bottom one good and snug. We tighten it good and snug now. We want to leave that slop in there though, so we can go ahead and move it, adjust it in case the tree's got a little bend that we didn't anticipate, you know, so we can get it in. We don't want to be fighting when we've got 15 feet of stick up above our head. So we tighten that up good, take our lineman's belt, put that around the tree. We now have a rope that's attached from our hip over to that tree stand that's setting off to the side. You know, I personally use Hunter Safety Systems, the hanger. It actually has great big pouches and stuff. The reason I use it, quite honestly, is because I'll put up 200, 250 tree stands in a year. Okay, you don't have to have that. You have to have a vest though. But because I have the hanger, I can go ahead and stuff my lifeline down in one pouch. I've got some screw-in steps. In another pouch, I've got bow hooks, I've got a saw, I've got everything I need while I'm climbing that tree, because I want to climb that tree once. Climb it once, get everything set, get down. I don't want to have to sit there and run up and down, up and down, up and down the tree. Okay, so the string is loosely tied to our hip. The reason it's loose is because if it snags, we want it to give way. We don't want it to be yanking on us. We go ahead and climb up the tree. Each time we get to a point where there's a buckle, we attach that, snug it up good, move on to the next. With our lifeline in our pouch for right now, because we haven't had a chance to hook it up yet, but our lineman's belt around that tree at all times. We want to maintain, when we're climbing, as much as humanly possible, 3 points of contact between our 2 feet and our hands. As long as we've got 3 points of contact, one of them can give way and we still have 2 more. Okay, keep that in mind as a general tip. Right now we get up to where we're going to put the stand. Now, obviously we're hooked in really good with that lineman's belt, we bring up the stand, we set it so that it is either equal, at the same level of that last step, or slightly below. We do not want to step up onto the stand. Okay. Get the stand in place. Unhook the lineman's belt, go around the tree above the stand platform, get up in the stand, and the very first thing we do is we attach that lifeline. Attach the lifeline to the tree, run it down the side of the tree. Now I can go ahead and hook into the lifeline. Now I'm set, baby. I can go ahead now, I can do my trimming and put in bow holders wherever we need them and use the snot out of these things. People, they cost $1, $2 max. You want it so that everything you need is within easy reach while minimizing movement. Okay, last thing I do is now I take out 2 screw-in tree steps. I will not use them for climbing trees. They are so incredibly dangerous. I don't care if you are wearing a lifeline, which you should. When you're climbing it, you slip, you fall this much, you know what? That just gut you like a fish. You don't want to do that. Okay? Gutting fish is fine. We're not fish. That's bad for us. So, the only place I'll use these screw-in steps are for handholds. One here behind the stand, so when I'm getting in and getting out of the stand, I have those 3 points of contact. I have a great secure base between these 2 screw-in steps and either the stick or the stand. As you're going down the tree, do not grab the knot on the lifeline. Okay, it's pressure activated, so you grab that knot, you slip, what are you going to do? You're going to grab onto the rope tighter. That can allow you to slip down. Instead, just hook a finger on the bottom of it and pull it down with me as I go down the stand. Get to the base, tie off that lifeline, walk away, you're done.
Hunt 'em Big with Steve Bartylla. Brought to you by Wildlife Research Center, the gold standard. RECONYX, see what you've been missing. Get armed and deadly with Easton's FMJ arrows. The heater bodysuit, you stay warm or your money back. And Hunter's Safety System, saving lives is what we do.
This is perhaps one of the most boring shows I will ever do. But you know what? It's also perhaps the most important. Tree stand safety is key. Your loved ones depend on you coming home, and if you wear the proper safety gear at all times, you take the right precautions, you're going to come home safe every time.